Hatov Yenanai Umanhaim Yenanai Shevet Achim Shevet Achim Gaham Yachad. Sing that again. Yenanai Nevatov Yenanai Umanai Yenanai Shevet Achim Shevet Achim Gaham Yachad. Let's light up the world, oh brothers and sisters, together with peace and love. Bring light to the world, oh sisters and brothers, and sing ye name Atov. Yenanai Nevatov Yenanai Umanai Yenanai Shevet Achim Shevet Achim Gaham Yachad. Let's light up the world. Let's light up the world, oh brothers and sisters, together with peace and love. Bring light to the world, oh sisters and brothers, and sing in name Atov. Yenanai Nevatov Yenanai Umanai Yenanai Shevet Achim Shevet Achim Gaham Yachad.
Shabbat Shalom. It's so good to be with everybody this evening. Thank you for being here as we welcome in Shabbat. I'm joined tonight by our music educator, Josh Cohen, and our rabbinic intern, Naomi Gertlin, and we're so thrilled to have them with us as we bring in that sense of peace and calm and togetherness on Shabbat. This is, for many of us, a long weekend as we celebrate President's Day. And we won't have any Hamilton-themed songs, but now that I've thought about that, next year, Josh, put that in your little bonnet. But we are getting ready for Purim, and so I am thinking about all the opportunities to bring together fun and joy and energy. And I know Josh is ready to rock with us tonight and to bring in that joy during this month of Adar. So we're going to bring in, whether you're feeling that need for a pick-me-up and a little extra energy, or you're feeling that desire for a little bit of calm and peace in your life, I hope you can find what you're looking for during tonight's service. And if you have candles and you want to light Shabbat candles with us, bring them into your screen. We're going to turn to page 2 for the candle lighting.
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lechad ligneh shel
Shabbat Shalom. We're going to pick up that energy with our welcoming song for the angels of the Shabbat. We're going to sing a melody that I think many of us are familiar with, but it's probably been a little while since we sang together. Shalom Aleichem on page 24.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Asharet, Malachi Elyon, Melech מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. שלום עליכם מלכי השרת, מלכי עליון ממלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. שלום עליכם מלכי השרת, מלכי עליון ממלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. בואכם שלום מלכי השלום, מלכי עליון ממלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ברכוני לשלום מלכי השלום, מלכי עליון ממלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. צאתכם לשלום מלכי השלום, מלכי עליון ממלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. Please turn to page 13 for Romemu, Adonai Eloheinu, Veishtachavu lechar kodsho. Romemu, Adonai Eloheinu, Veishtachavu lechar kodsho. Actually, page 17. Ki kadosh, oh, ki kadosh, Adonai Eloheinu, yeah, ki kadosh, Adonai Eloheinu. Romemu, join me. Romemu, Adonai Eloheinu. Crushed it. Veishtachavu lechar kodsho. Sing it out. Ki kadosh, oh, ki kadosh, Adonai Eloheinu, yeah, ki kadosh, Adonai Eloheinu. Romemu, Adonai Eloheinu, Veishtachavu lechar kodsho. Romemu, Adonai Eloheinu, Veishtachavu lechar kodsho.
So Josh beautifully helped us to welcome in the angels. There's another image that comes in to the Kabbalat Shabbat service. So a few weeks ago, I had the honor of officiating my first wedding. And I will never forget the sense of anticipation as I waited with my friend David by the chuppah. And at just the right moment, his beloved Ayelet appeared. The happiness in the room was already pretty high before she came in, but the joy rose to a whole new level as she arrived and the couple entered the chuppah. Here in Lecha Dodi, we're invited to imagine that moment of joy coming every single week as we welcome Shabbat. In Lecha Dodi, Shabbat itself is the bride, whose anticipated appearance brings us an extra measure of joy and soulfulness. In fact, in the last verse, if you're not tied down by earbuds, I invite you to stand up to welcome the bride. Shabbat isn't Shabbat without us. Just as a wedding needs the presence of both partners, likewise, Shabbat needs us to ready ourselves and embrace the joy that a good, holy Shabbat menucha, a Shabbat rest, can bring. You might find that menucha by coming to services, or in meditation, or in spending time with family or close friends. However you find your Shabbat menucha, when we come to verse 9, let's really take that moment to welcome Shabbat in. Shabbat Lecha Dodi is, help me out, Josh, what page are we on?
We're on page 20.
Thank you, my dear. Let me flip to that page myself, and we will continue with Lecha Dodi. We do verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. So here we go. It's a beautiful tune by, my page just went away. Wait a minute, small technical difficulty. Josh, what page did you tell me?
Page 20, the big 20.
The big 20. I don't know what I did, but it went where I wasn't expecting to. Okay, here we go with Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat, nekabela la 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 lecha Dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela, shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad. Hishmianu el hamiuchad Adonai echad, u'shmo echad, l'shem u'letiferet v'lithilah, lecha Dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat, nekabela la 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 lecha Dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela, likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki makor habracha merosh mikedem nesucha. סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה, לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת, נקבלה לה 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 לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, 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 שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה, לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת, נקבלה לה 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 לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובתולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת, נקבלה לה 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 לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
What a beautiful melody, Naomi. Thank you. We turn to the middle of page 22 or to page 342 for the line of our Psalm for Shabbat, Psalm 92. And the second half of this line, which we say, Me'od amku machshavotecha, how subtle are your designs, God. I think that's one of the benefits of Shabbat, is a chance to slow down a little bit and to see the beauty and subtlety of small things And so as we sing this song tonight, whether you're singing Hallelujah or Mod Godlu, it reminds you this weekend to take some time and notice the beautiful subtlety that is out in this world. We're on Psalm 92 on page 22.
Hallelujah, 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 Magalu, Masechaya. Please sing any part you like. Magalu, Masechaya, Me'olam kumachavotecha, Magalu, Masechaya. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
I miss you all. I miss being with you in person. And I can't wait for 2 weeks from tonight. We'll be back together Friday night, God willing, beginning of March to celebrate Shabbat together. But in the meantime, it is good to see your faces on the screen and to hear your voices. So I'd like to invite everybody to come off mute for a moment as we turn to the Baruch, the call to worship on page 28. Bring your voices, however chaotic and cacophonous it is, into this holy, sacred space tonight. We rise in body or spirit for the Baruch. Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Va'ed. We're welcome to be seated. We give thanks for the cycles of nature and for the divine that brings on the evening. And especially as we sense a little bit more sun and a little bit more life coming into our lives, we can appreciate that darkness and that evening time a little bit more. We sing together, Roll into Dark, which I'll share on the screen.
Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Borei yom v'layla, וחושך מפני אור. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. וחושך מפני אור, וחושך מפני אור. ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב ערבים. We turn to page 32 as we join in the prayer of Ahavat Olam. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Ahavta Amcha. I'm really not sure what page I said, but apparently it wasn't right, so it's page 32, please. Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadta, otanu limadta. Al Kin Adonai Eloheinu b'shachbeinu uvkumeinu nasiach berukecha v'nismach b'divrei toratecha u'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed ki hem ואורך ימינו ובהם נקי יומם ולילה נקי יומם ולילה ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. A poem by Rabbi Rachel Barenblatt. Listen up, y'all, says Shekhinah, who looks today like a teacher in corduroy dress and sedate boots. Let the smartphone rest a bit, or learn how to hear my voice coming through its speaker. Let your love for me well up like unexpected tears. Everyone serves something. give your life to me. Let the channel of your heart open, and my abundance will pour through. But if you prefer profit, if you pretend, if you're not real with me, your life will feel hollow and your heart be embittered. I won't punish you. I won't need to. Your hollowness will be punishment enough, and the world will suffer for it. So let my words twine around your arm and shine like a headlamp between your eyes to light your way. Teach them to everyone you meet. Write them at the end of your emails and on your business cards. Then you'll remember how to live with the flow of all that is holy. You'll have heaven right here on earth.
A beautiful translation of the Ahafta. We take that with us to that moment of redemption that our ancestors experienced crossing the Sea of Reeds, that moment of joy and freedom. And we sing together Mi Chamocha on page 40.
I'm excited to bring you a new melody tonight. If we were to boil down Mi Chamocha to 5 words, who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, You got the lines down, try the melody, I lie. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha, same melody. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha neda b'kodesh, nora tehilot u'seifele, nora tehilot u'seifele. Who's like you? Who is like you? Adonai, who is like you? Adonai, give the allies another try. Yalalai, 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 sing that Mi Chamocha, Mi Chamocha ba'elim Adonai, Mi Kamocha neda b'kodesh, nora tehilot u'seifele, nora tehilot u'seifele. Yalai, yalalai, 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 The melody was brought to us by the oh so amazing Alana Arian. If you don't know her music, I highly recommend checking it out. It is phenomenal. now to shift. Let me share some words with you of some Hashkivenu, page 42, asking God to spread that shelter of peace over us, over all of us, no matter where we are. Hashkivenu, Hashkivenu, Adonai, Eloheinu Shalom, Ha'amitenu Shomreinu Lechai. Sing along, Hashkivenu, Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Shalom, Ha'amitenu Shomreinu Lechai. Verse 1, spread the shelter. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Shalom, Leha'amitenu Shomreinu Lechai. Verse 2, save us for the sake. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Shalom, Leha'amitenu Shomreinu Lechaim. Lechaim 2 times. Lechaim.
I hope you felt your heart open up. It's a space open up inside you this evening as we sung and we prayed together. And then from that place of spaciousness and openness, we can turn to the Amidah, the central prayer in our tradition, and offer our most intimate prayers and thoughts to God. I'll lead us in the first 3 blessings together, and we'll take a few moments for our own private prayers before we come together for our prayer for peace. We turn to page 46 and we rise in body or spirit for the Amidah.
Ufi ani te la te
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzhak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei Hakol V'Zocher Chastei Avot V'imaot Umevi Gula Livnei B'neihem Leman Shemo B'Ahava Melech Ozer Moshia U'Magen Baruch Atah Adonai Magen Abraham V'Ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai V'Chayei HaKol Atah Rav Lehoshia Mashiv HaRuach Morid HaGashem Mechalkel Chaim B'Chesed Mechayei HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim Somech Noflim V'Rofei Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Apar Micha Mocha Baal Gevurot Umido Melach Melech Memit Umechaye Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman Atah L'Hachayot HaKol Baruch Atah Adonai Mechaye HaKol Atah Kadosh V'Shimcha Kadosh U'Kadoshim V'chol Yom Yhalelu Chasela Baruch Atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh.
Page 62. Oh, say shalom bimroma. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru Amen. Oh say, shalom bimromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Yalla lay, Oh, say shalom bimromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'al kol yoshvei tevel.
We add to our prayers for peace, our prayers for healing, and we think of loved ones, friends in need of healing at this moment. If you'd like to share the names of friends, community members, or loved ones in the chat to be read out loud, please take a moment this evening to do so. As a community, we're praying for the healing of Tuvia ben Yerucham Lazer, Chaim Mesha, Dalia Bat Miriam, Asher Daniel ben Leah, Dina Rachel Bat Aryeh Begalia, Cassandra Warshawski, Chaya Blaima Bat Chaim Chia Vasilia Ruchel, Jeffrey Colt, Joseph Siegel, Yosef Ben Herschel Verut, Glenna Bub. We add the names of Ellen Mosner, Louis Starr, and Agnes Bales. All those names: Harab Miriam Yael Bat Sarah, Shalom Ben Sipora, Yonatan Ben Hodel, Chanalea Bat Shira Siban, Aryeh Ben Miriam, Yehudit Svia Bat Gila, Phyllis Welliver, Del Welliver, Hollis Derazi, Sarah Bat Leah. To all those people mentioned out loud and those we're holding in our hearts, we offer this prayer of healing, our Misha Berach, which can be found on page 253.
May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mekor habracha le'avoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit. And let us say, Amen.
We pray for refuah shlema, complete and full recovery. Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish is a very famous figure in the Talmud. He was a 3rd century rabbi and very unique amongst the early sages for being a bandit and a gladiator in his youth. Sounds like quite the troublemaker. And in one famous story, Rabbi Yochanan, a towering figure of the Talmud, tells Reish Lakish that his strength should be used for Torah. And from that day on, Reish Lakish devotes himself to Torah study, becoming Rabbi Yochanan's chavruta, or study partner, and his equal. The debates between Reish Lakish and Rabbi Yochanan about the nature of Jewish law are recorded throughout the Babylonian Talmud, the foundational work of Jewish law and philosophy. In one tractate of the Talmud, Tractate Beitza, the Talmud quotes Reish Lakish as saying, "There are three stubborn or insolent ones: the Jewish people amongst the nations, the dog among the animals, and the rooster among the birds." Now, I don't have a rooster, although they do strike me as quite insolent creatures. And I would never say a bad word about my dog on camera or while she's listening, lest she take it out on me. But I'd like to share a few thoughts on Reish Lakish's comment that not only are the Jews stubborn, but we are the most stubborn people out there. Of course, we have been called, and we call ourselves many things: the chosen people, a light amongst the nations, a kingdom of priests. But the term used repeatedly in this week's Torah portion is a little less flattering. When Moses ascends Mount Sinai to receive the two tablets, the Israelites down below are growing restless in the absence of their leader, and they pressure Aaron to build them a golden calf that they can worship. When God finds out about this, he tells Moses, "Hurry down, for your people, whom you brought out of the land of Egypt, have acted basely. They have been quick to turn aside from the way that I enjoined upon them. They had made themselves a molten calf and bowed low to it and sacrificed to it, saying, 'This is your God, O Israel, who brought you out of the land of Egypt.'" Further, he said to Moses, I see that this is a stiff-necked people. Now let me be, that my anger may blaze forth against them, and that I may destroy them and make of you a great nation." This phrase, Am Kashe Oref, a stiff-necked people, is repeated 4 times in this week's Torah portion. It's a little less flattering than the chosen people, but perhaps there is something about it that rings true. Our ancestors' stubborn nature was such a frustration to the divine that God basically says, "Don't even let me around them, because I am likely to wipe them out the next time that they upset me." Or more precisely in the language of the Torah, "But I will not go in your midst, since you are a stiff-necked people, lest I destroy you on the way." The second time that this phrase appears in this week's Torah portion. Being stiff-necked is more than being just stubborn. According to a 16th century Italian rabbi, Sforno, being stiff-necked and righteous simultaneously is a non-starter, as these two character qualities are mutually exclusive. Being stiff-necked means to follow the dictates of one's own heart, perhaps something that we prize, one's own opinions, instead of accepting the yoke of the Creator's commandments as being supreme. Such a person will reject even theories which have been proven beyond a doubt if they are in conflict with what this person deems good or convenient for themselves. So to Sforno, to God, being stiff-necked is not such a good thing. But is being stiff-necked all bad? A little later in the Parsha, after Moses has smoothed things out with the divine and again ascended Mount Sinai, he seems to indicate that this might actually be a virtue, reminding God of this characteristic of the people. We read, "Moses hastened to bow low to the ground in homage and said, 'If I have gained your favor, O my Lord, pray let my Lord go in our midst, because this is a stiff-necked people. Pardon our iniquity and our sin, and take us for your own.'" Now, there are a lot of ways to translate that verse, but I think the plain sense is Moses asking God to take the people, to be with the people, because they are so stubborn. And God accepts, saying, "I hereby make a covenant before all your people. I will work such wonders as I have not been wrought on all the earth or in any nation, and all the people who are with you shall see how awesome are God's deeds, which I will perform for you." Now, it's not possible for Moses to know the future, certainly not in this moment, but perhaps he senses that something of the Israelites' stubborn nature will come to serve them and God going forward. I think of all the Jews over thousands of years who remain dedicated to their people and their tradition and to God, despite prejudice and persecution. Emily Singer, a teacher, a social worker, and a freelance writer, writes that these are the people, strong-willed and resourceful, who will challenge and innovate. Once the Torah is truly theirs, it is they who will continue to make it relevant for future generations. Their leaders need only share, listen, respect, and support. This is how Abraham nearly saved Sodom and how Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai secured the future of Judaism, not to mention the ever-growing presence of women's voices in Jewish scholarship and leadership today. So that the next time somebody calls you stiff-necked or stubborn, maybe take it as a compliment, or whatever thing it may have been directed at you as something of a negative, whether you were told that you were sensitive or a nerd or too emotional, and that was meant to you in a negative way. See the positive in that. Find the actual strength behind that. God begins by calling the Israelites stiff-necked in such a way that God's frustration is boiling over. But Moses reminds God, this is also a positive and it will serve them well. May we all find the strength and the insight to see that whatever our flaws, our weaknesses, our vulnerabilities may be, that they too contain the power to transform us and to transform the world. And may we be proud of them on this day and going forward. Shabbat Shalom. We're going to move to the conclusion of our service and turn to Aleinu on page 282. Please rise in body or spirit.
Aleinu לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת עוזו בפגועי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. Page 287. ונאמר והיה אדוני מלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא תהיה אדוני אחד
Welcome to be seated. We turn now to Mourner's Kaddish on page 294, and we think of those we've lost in recent days and in years past. And if you're saying Kaddish for a friend or a loved one and would like to share their names in the chat this evening, please take a moment to let us know who you're saying Kaddish Atom for. The words for Kaddish will be on the screen, as well as a list of yard sites in our community. We say Kaddish today for Stephanie Reamer, Janine Morgan, Luz Maria Salamanca, Cheryl Renee Daly, If we're saying Kaddish, it's our custom to rise. Please rise as we turn to page 294 for Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal, Yitkadash, Shemei Rabbah, V'yamad Dibra, Chirute, V'yamlich Malchute, V'chayechon, U'vyomechon, U'chayei Techol Beit Yisrael, Ba'gala, U'bizman Kariv, V'yimru, Amen.
Amen.
Yehi
Yehi
Shmei
Shemei
Rabbah,
Rabbah
V'varach Le'olam,
Olam
Lamei
Lamei
Amaya.
Amaya.
Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar, V'yitromam, V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, V'yitaleh, V'yitalal, Shmei D'Kudsha Barechu,
Richu.
Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, Tamiran B'yama V'imru, Amen.
Amen.
Yehi Shalama Rabba min Shemaya, V'chaim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen.
Amen.
Oseh Shalom B'mrama, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen.
Amen.
Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be a blessing. Special thank you tonight to Josh for being here and providing such beautiful music, and Naomi, thank you for sharing your teaching and your beautiful words and your voice this evening. Thank you to everybody who's joined us. Tomorrow, we are going to have services at 10:30 on Zoom. TOS and Shir Hadash will join together for a Shabbat morning service, a Torah study, and all are welcomed. On Monday, in observance of President's Day, the TO offices will be closed, but we'll be back open on Tuesday, and Rabbi Berkman will be teaching her class, Torah for the Heart and Mind, at 9 a.m. on Thursday. And we will have services virtually next Friday at 6 p.m. And then beginning in March, God willing, we'll be back together, and I hope to see you for services in the chapel March 4th. We're going to turn to page 5 for Kiddush, and then we're going to close for our prayer for a better world, a world built out of love. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratza banu v'shabbat kodsho v'havadu ratzon hinchilanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikrayei kodesh zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim. Kivanu v'acharta, v'yotanu kidashta, mikol hamim, v'shabbat kodshecha, v'yahavadu v'ratzon hinchaltanu, baruch atah Adonai, v'kadesh hashabbat. Sorry, you can't see my beautiful face when I stand up. It's too tall for this Zoom screen. But you can see all of Josh as he leads us in our closing song, Olam Chesed Yibaneh, and everybody is welcome to stick around to join us on Zoom to schmooze for a little bit after services tonight.
Chesed Yibaneh, Tidadai, Tidadai, Tidadai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Tidadai, Tidadai, Tidadai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. And you must build this world from love. And if we build this world from love, then God, will build this world from love. Sing it out with all you got. Olam Chesed. Olam Chesed Yivaneh. Olam Chesed Olam Chesed, Olam Chesed Yivaneh. Olam Chesed Yivaneh. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom. Goodbye to our friends on Facebook and Brookline Interactive.